All right, guys, good afternoon. We have about 350 feet of high pressure on here, 200-foot sections of double braided hose, another 100-foot of single braid attached to another 50-foot of single braid. You generally only need about 250 feet, but it's always good to have backup. So lots of high pressure hose in case one bursts. If they do burst, you can take them to a fitting store. I have a hydraulic store that I use, and they'll put these fittings on, and you can get a little bit more use out of your hose instead of going and spending anywhere between 140 and 180 on a new hose. So we are all finished up, and you can see how beautiful the curbing has come. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like. Now your sidewalks look like that instead of that. So that's your stop-start area. No driveways were done, just the little beginning part of the driveway here, wrapping through to where you can see right here. So I did a little bit more further than property line just to make things really pretty for them. You can see it's a nice straight line, and the same thing there. So the sidewalks are all beautiful, looking immaculate, and you can see how this nice and straight here. So it's not too aesthetically unpleasing to the eye. Now to the eyesore, which is concrete that doesn't clean up. Can you acid wash this? Absolutely. To do this would be relatively expensive. It wouldn't be a few $100s, and you're not going to burn in past a certain point. So if surface layer, rust iron, and sulfur on there, yes, oxalic acid, F9 bark will eat that up, and you will see a noticeable difference. However, a lot of this concrete I have already burned before with acid, and the results were very little. So you can see here what the sidewalks look like. This is where we stopped, which is property line here. This goes to this property here. So you can see how we stopped right here, and you can see your orangish color. A lot of this will come out with an acid wash, but you can see in through here, it looks really bad. Now what I want to show you is you are down deep. So you see this marbling that you've got here. You're not cleaning that any further. That is vanadium at its finest. And you can really tell because a hard water stain would be an area of reddish, sort of pinkish, and you can see how this sort of marbles in together. So that's what you're looking at. You can see how bad it is in through here. So you know, that's one of the reasons. I mean, a lot of that we can burn into, but for the most part, it's a really ugly situation. All the curbs have been cleaned all the way down, almost 300 feet that way. You do have some areas like right in there and right in there that is rust iron and sulfur, and that will come out. But a lot of these areas, for instance, take a look. You're not getting that out. That's not rust iron and sulfur. That's underneath the concrete. And so just to bring that to your attention in case you guys are like, what am I doing wrong? You can see how the curbs are all cleaned up. You see that drainage area. We could clean that up with some acid, and that would brighten that up. But for the most part, this is what you're sort of left with after sodium hypochlorite and surfactant. It is an additional service to have rust iron and sulfur removed. Vanadium, and a lot of people call it magnesium. Let me show you the marbling that's sort of going on. Can you see what's happening here? So you'll never get that clean, guys. That is the way it is. Now see this? That you can burn off with acid easily. A lot of these you can sort of highlight, but yeah, it's you want it brand new, you're gonna have to jackhammer it up and lay new concrete. That's all there is to it, because you're not you know, I'll be more than happy to do an acid wash on here, treat it with oxalic acid, treat it with F9 bark, but it's going to be very expensive, and you're going to see just a little bit of difference because underneath the concrete is that pinkish color. These will highlight up pretty good, to be honest with you. But anyway, not all concrete cleans up the same. So don't beat yourself up out there if you've tried every solution possible and you're not getting through. Other concrete cleans up really, really nicely. And you know, you can see here how beautiful that looks. That looks like brand new concrete, and we just did it. We just finished doing this. So depending on the gravel pit, depending on how they prepped, and you know, if there was rains that day, if it was excessively cold or hot, all of those play a factor in how that cream is going to set up and what's going to happen underneath the concrete. So just to give you a heads up, that's kind of par for the course out here. I hope everyone's having a great day. Keep cleaning, everybody. Trevor Thompson, TNT Pressure Cleaning. Dynamite service with explosive results.